to the next dimension.
Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes, all the way from Down Under, and today I wanted to talk about the effect of NX rares in Combat Arms North America and in Combat Arms Europe. Now, in my home of NA, I see a lot of NX rares. NX rares are not rare. You see them every single game. You'll see the CQB camos, the Barons, the P90TRs. Basically, everybody has these super good, overpowered weapons on them. A player that doesn't have these are going to have a massive, massive disadvantage. However, that is very different to what I have gone and experienced and recently heard in Combat Arms Europe. I go and search the forums quite a lot. I look at the NA forums, I look at the Europe forums, and currently on the Combat Arms Europe forum, there's a petition going around trying to stop the selling of permanent NX rares / epics. And when I first thought of it, when I first saw this thread, I was I didn't know what to think because it's happened so many times in Combat Arms North America. People want these sales in Combat Arms North America. They want these permanent weapons. When they were at Christmas, I believe, last year, for $35 for an M416 CQB camo or a SOP mod, so many people picked them up. It was absolutely ridiculous. But in Combat Arms Europe, it is a very, very, very rare occurrence. So rare that when it did happen, it was on such a limited supply. Only 100 people could get these actual NX rares permanent. I believe it was the P90 TRSC, the M416 CQB, and one other weapon. Only 3 weapons in comparison to the NA sale when it was like 7 or 8. Just super good NX rares, and they just had an infinite supply. You could buy as many as you want. It doesn't, no limit, and people snapped them up. Now, in my opinion, that is a really good thing that they're doing in Europe. The fact is they do not support the fact that these NX rares are going and ruining the game. Because they are. They're just super good. I've got gameplay right here using an epic weapon. The M416 CQB Barons Revised or whatever. I can honestly say it is such an easy mode weapon. Just hold down the left trigger and then boom, you're gonna get kills. It's that easy. However, that's the meta, if I could say the word. That's the meta of what we live in for Combat Arms. That's the standard for all the players that play the game. NX rares, NX epics, they're just there. Nexon gives them away. Nexon goes and sells them for extremely low prices for permanent duration, and people go and snap them up so many times. And it's filling the pockets of Nexon, but it's deteriorating the community of Combat Arms. Now, I have to say big props to Europe. Big props to Combat Arms Europe for holding out this long and not selling these weapons for permanent duration. And the fact that they did to only 100 people each, that is actually a very, very, very commendable thing. And I heard that even the GMs were against doing this. However, it was just something that came from the uppers in the Combat Arms Nexon hierarchy, whatnot, and they just had to go and do it. So overall, the direction of Combat Arms Europe is much more fair, in my opinion, to that of North American. Hopefully, they can stay down that track. And maybe that's a direct correlation between the success of Combat Arms Europe in comparison to Combat Arms North America, since NA is obviously falling down the track, so less and less people are playing it, just because of the fact that you gotta pay in order to win. To put it bluntly, and everybody knows this, Combat Arms is a pay-to-win game. GP players have no chance against NX players. If you put a person with full 25% speed gear, an M416 CQB Barons Revised, versus a person with an M4A1 light vest and a USP, of course the NX person is gonna win, even if they have exactly the same skill. Screw it, if the person with the GP gear has twice the skill, 3 times the skill, there is still a very high chance that the NX user is going to win. But other than that, Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, out.